gym would have been. Okay, they would have had weights. People would come here to lift weights. You can see there are benches all around. The benches are for the older people. If you're not so much involved in the weightlifting aspect, you can sit here and you can watch people lift weights. But that's not the focal point. The focal point is what happens after the weightlifting. Well, you guys ever hear of Roman Greco wrestling? Yeah? Okay, wrestling. This is very important in Roman society. That takes place in this part of the Roman bathhouse, okay? That's why the benches are all around. This area here is where I could challenge my buddy to a wrestling match, or just for pride, I could challenge the champion to a wrestling match. It's not to the death, we're both Roman citizens, we're just having fun, but more importantly, we're getting the blood pressure up, we're breaking a sweat, because this is the most important part before you enter the bathhouse. You gotta open up the pores, right? That's what sweating is all about, because it's actually very cleansing for you. So, and you know, that little whole pride ego thing going on, I want to beat the champion. So everybody sits in the back and you get to cheer on your friend or cheer on the champion, whoever you want. And that happens in here. Now we break a sweat, of course I won. Before I enter the bathhouse has nothing to do with baths, it's all about sweating, it's a sauna. But I have to bring my body temperature down before I can get in there. So what you do is you access this pool. You go down into the pool, there's just a quick dip, just to kind of shock the system, and then you go on into the bathhouse. Now the bathhouse is huge, the one that was here. We only have one small portion of the bathhouse left. When you enter, you progress into the hottest area. We don't have the progression in the rooms. We have the two hottest rooms here. How the bathhouse actually works. Most of it is reconstructed. By armies and by earthquakes.
Are those seats?
I'll tell you. No, these are not seats. So what we're looking at down below is how a bathhouse works. So I told you guys this is more like a sauna, meaning we're going to sweat to death, but there's no water. Right now there is water, but there are little pools around the place. Not for immersion.
No, you can't.
But if you get overheated, splashing water on your face or on your head.
That
just to
button
kind
right
of bring
there.
your body temperature down so you
Really?
can sweat
Push
a little
that
bit
button.
more. But what we're looking at down below is how the steam that's created goes through the entire bathhouse. Okay? So remember I said there's a progression as you go through. You walk into a cooler room, in a warmer room, warmer, warmer, and then really hot. And then you progress out. Okay? So that's the focal point, is that hot room. And the way we get that area really warm is like this grid system that we see down here. You have these pillars. On the pillars you're going to have these little cylinder bricks. They're built up to hold one massive brick like the one underneath it. And then on top of that you have a bigger brick connecting to the other one. So you have cylinders, a brick, then a much larger one on top of it that will connect four together. Then you have plaster on top of that, then another level of plaster, and then either a mosaic or some sort of beautiful marble design or something on there. It's all about aesthetics, it's got to look good. The whole point of this is the steam is unbelievably hot. I'm barefoot, I don't want to burn my feet as I'm walking, okay? So it's hot, but not too hot. But it's not just the floor, it's radiating the seat, it's not just the floor. This grid system pushes the steam throughout the whole place evenly, but it's also the backs of the walls. Now we can't see it here for the most part. We sort of can over there and underneath you. You can see it as you move around, but you would have had these channels coming through, and on the sides of the walls, you would have these cylinder bricks that are hollow. And they're taking the steam from underneath, and it goes up along the backs of the walls as well. So you're literally surrounded by steam all around you. You can't see it. You have beautiful mosaics all around you, have beautiful murals everywhere, but there's steam everywhere. So it's like a modern day sauna. You're sweating to death, but you see nothing, okay?
Where would the people sit?
The people were sitting inside the building. So this is behind the scenes. This is underneath the floor. You can't see
Like
it.
a crawl space.
So the floor would have been raised. So the level at the top over here is just below the modern level. You would have, or the actual floor level. You would have 2 levels of plaster and then something on top of it.
It's kind of like a basement.
Kind of like a basement, but not as deep. The hottest room is going to be the room closest to the furnace because, of course, steam has to be created. You have the water system coming in. It runs through the entire ground of the system, all underneath. If you guys want to see Hercules, Israeli Air Force. There's 2 right there.
Work for the airport.
You did?
Hey.
I think you're already on that.
One right there.
Ah.
There's a few reasons why the Air Force flies here. Number one, that's a border, but that's not a fighter pilot there. But because that whole area is below sea level, the Air Force trains in this area. Number one, it's the longest strip they can fly down. But also, once you go down towards the water level, all the instruments in your cockpit are saying eject, 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 because you're well below sea level. So that you'll see them dogfighting. They go from the Jezreel Valley and they'll swoop down here and fly down south, and they'll have like little dogfight, fake dogfights.
Yesterday when we were at Nazareth,
Uh-huh.
I heard what sounded like F-15s.
Everywhere. It's their training
We
grounds.
didn't see them.
Yeah, I think they were behind the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a roof?
Yes, this whole building would have been closed off. Now, as the steam is moving through, there's only one exit in the entire structure, and that's over that room over there. So someone has to work this furnace, right? So over here, we're going to see where the furnace was, and the furnace is always in the hottest room. Because that's the first place. So we'll see the remains of the furnace over here. And this is where the steam would move in and slowly move its way on through into the entire structure. Now, if you look over here, guys, remember in Israel, you start from the right to the left. So this is the beginning over here. This guy lost his clothes. That's okay. You change. You have the Greco wrestling. You have, and by the way, one of the biggest and most important parts of the bathhouse is cleaning yourself. Okay? Because what's the point of opening all your pores if you're not going to get clean? So you can see over there, these guys are using the water to cleanse themselves. But this guy is actually using a what looks like a shaver, but he's actually scraping dead skin cells off.
He used to go to the river and lose
No, so that's this stuff over here. So when you're done looking at that, you can see the utensils that they actually used for their beauty. This is men, guys, men. There's mirrors, there's perfume, things like this. They're Romans. This is the original, what's it called, metrosexuals.
Ah, cool.
It's all about aesthetics. You have to look good, physical, but also your clothes. Well, I'm not going to look good. I could have the nicest clothes, but if I'm filthy and disgusting and smelling, no one's going to want to do business with me. So this is the ancient spa, if you will. Okay? So they use these tools. What they do is they take olive oil and they rub it on their body, and then they take it and they scrape the dead skin cells off. It's kind of like soap and water today. Okay? So that's what they're doing in that picture over there. And then, of course, they do have a bath, a pool area. But that's not common in most bathhouses. That's just the elite ones. Okay, this is the capital of the Decapolis. So here they're going to have above and beyond everything. All right, and it's also by far the largest populated city in the Decapolis. So they have a little bit more. Then they have the spot treatments. You don't have to have the spa, but here they do. So these are the remains of some of the things you would find in the spa, and they were found in this. That's not original.
Oh.
Now this is, like I said, only 2 out of the
Yes,
many
good.
rooms that would have been
And
here.
now clean up.
You have the remains of the bathhouse going well beyond
Hey, Celie, can I get a picture of you?
Sure. And me or you? You. Me. Oh, here, you can take it of me and see.
the Roman citizens, but we believe in the one true God. There's only one God.
Just downshifted and pasture.
Empire. When you become a Christian, you're not technically a Christian until you do something, right? So in the Christian world, what does everyone tell you have to do when you become Christian? You gotta get baptized into the faith, right? Well, back then, you have to be baptized in the faith, but it's more than that. You can't even enter a church until you've been baptized. That's very welcome, right? But you're not guaranteed to make it to the church. You're not guaranteed, every single second, every day is a gift from God. So, because you have tons of people coming through here on the trade routes, you have tons of people meeting in the bathhouse, because this is the place that the community meets. If you're a foreign trader, I'm a Christian from this town, and you guys are still pagans, I'll meet you in the bathhouse. And guess what? We start talking. I successfully converted you to Christianity. But you're in a hurry. You got to get your merchandise and keep moving because you're on a time frame, right? I got to make sure you're baptized, because if you're not baptized, if you die somewhere along the road, even though you've confessed your faith, you haven't been baptized into the faith, you're not a Christian, right? That's the tradition. So here on the back side of this wall, they built a baptistry. Is that the word, baptistry?
Yes.
A little baptistry. It's big enough for one person, because we cannot wait for it. We gotta make sure everyone's baptized if they want to be. Well, we have an immense amount of water going into this building. We just got to channel a little bit of it to the outside, just enough to fit one soul, one saved soul in here. And you can see the Byzantine cross above it. Okay, you have Alpha and Omega on both sides of it.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah. And then you have the water source. You can see the water channel going in. If I successfully convert you and you want to baptize before you go along your merry journey, that's done for here. I'm going to take you to Jordan, but no, I'll do this here. So that's that. Now we're walking.
Better get open for it. Make sure it says photo.
Yeah. You need to probably be so you can catch what he's saying.